everybody wants to rule the world, and we have them all in here in the studio right now. By the way.
Yes, we've got it.
But before one of the things I left off, actually, between one of the breaks, Lois Darma said, I left a key member of my team off, and I cannot continue on unless I don't give a shout-out to him. So, Lois, who was that last team member you'd left off?
Here's to Kevork Yacobian. Whoop, whoop.
And I have an assignment, too.
Yes.
I failed to mention that Linda Riddle is a beautiful woman. So, Todd, that is for you.
Not me. That's
And Todd's a beautiful man. So I have my bases covered now?
You have all your bases covered right
good.
there.
Todd,
And we're back.
Oh, by the way, it's live, guys. Don't worry about that.
So we've been trying to coach this duo down here for a while now.
They're brand new sponsors.
Well, not actually. They're kind of old, but
they're old, brand new sponsors.
Hey, who you calling old?
Seasoned.
Seasoned, yes.
Sponsor.
Seasoned by a month.
Sponsor.
Seasoned by a month. Experience. But, we have the pleasure, obviously, having CRE in the studio and in the house. So, a while ago, somebody asked, what would you do if you needed credit?
Yeah, that was
restoration, by the way.
Easy set up there, wasn't that?
I learned it's restoration, not repair. So, by the way, I am re-educating myself. But I had the pleasure of doing a all-about credit class with them about a week and a half ago, 10 days ago. And great class, great attendance. We talked a lot about it. We actually had some really good, for the first class we've ever done, it was a phenomenal class.
A lot of people, a lot of questions.
That is correct. A lot of people, a lot of questions. But first of all, let us know a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I guess we had to
#1.
introduce them.
Yes,
James
I was going to let them do
Yolanda
it.
Martinez. I think we ought to get that out there right away.
Get that out there right away.
Everyone to talk to, and of course, make sure you get right close to that microphone so they can hear you.
Yes, absolutely. So, James, we'll start off with you, buddy.
Don't be afraid of it.
Yes, don't be afraid of the mic.
No, actually, it's not my first time on one of these things, believe it or not. My name is James Charlet. I own CRE Credit Services along with Simon Webster. I used to be a legal and compliance executive with Experian. Believe it or not.
Yeah, get closer.
I used to be a legal and compliance executive with Experian, and we started CRE because we knew that there were a lot of problems with credit reports, a lot of errors, a lot of problems, things that we talked about, obviously, Chris. And
right.
Our purpose is to not repair, but to restore people's credit and correct errors. It's not about removing things that are accurate or complete or verifiable or anything like that. It's about we know that there's actual problems and about correcting those problems.
Right.
My understanding that, and correct me if I'm wrong, that 70% of files have errors on it. Is that an accurate statistic?
Yeah, that's absolutely an in fact, depending on who you talk to, a lot of people think it's higher, but it's hard to get accurate numbers because you can't see everybody's credit report, obviously.
Nor would you want to.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah, and James came from one of the big three. So I think it's pretty interesting to talk about this. Is you have an insight from the inner workings, obviously, of one of the major credit bureaus.
Yeah, but that's considered thinking that it's actually working.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not a bureau. It's an agency.
Agency. Very good.
That's
You
true.
see.
Well, they
That's
always,
true.
but you know what? They do always refer to it as a credit bureau.
They
Right.
do. Well, yeah.
Oh, that's
well,
simple.
here what it is. You know why? Because the bureaus are the ones that resell to mortgage companies. Obviously, Chris,
Right.
when you're pulling from a bureau, but the bureaus are buying that data from credit reporting agencies.
Right.
So when you're working for Experian or Equifax or TransUnion, that's a credit reporting agency. But nonetheless, from the inside, what I had to do for them more often was we got sued a lot. We got challenged by attorney generals and the FTC and lots of other organizations. And what I had to do was go and defend Experian kind of against those and try and prove that we hadn't done something wrong, or if we had done something wrong, pay out some money.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Well, when someone has already been hurt by bad reporting and things like that, money doesn't really help a whole lot at that juncture. So, but
very true.
Talk about a little bit what people might be looking for and how you have to go into all the long process because there's a lot of process, but it's basically you contact the creditors and the agencies
Right.
and say this is erroneous,
Well,
and then they have to respond within a period of time. And
certainly, and that's obviously trying to build evidence and show where the actual errors have occurred if they can't correct them is a part of it. But I think another one of the most important things is that obviously there's a lot of misinformation out there about credit. And we always provide 100% free consultation with education. And, there's some people that, if someone comes to us and everything on the report is correct and accurate, there's nobody that can help them, including us, of course. But we're going to give them that free consultation, that education, all of that, no matter what.
So if they've had a bankruptcy and they really don't pay their bills, you probably can't help them.
That's absolutely correct. And the one I always talk about, and I always like to say, is the number one thing you don't see it that often, but if you see a first payment default, it's bankruptcy. Late payments after a bankruptcy are bad. The only thing worse is a first payment default. Those are the kind of things like if you took out a loan and you never made a single payment, not even your first one, there's not a whole lot of people that can help you with that.
Probably not.
Well, on a fundamental level, if you question something on your credit report, who's at the burden of proof? Do you have to prove that it's wrong, or do they have to prove that it's right? I mean, what's the deal?
Unfortunately, in the credit reporting agency side, all of the burden of proof is on the consumer. All they have to do is once a creditor or subscriber to their service has passed the initial kind of litmus test, then they can report pretty much whatever they want. And if you want to get that removed, all the burden of proof is on you to show that that's wrong.
That seems backwards to me.
It is. It's guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah, it seems like they should have to prove
Right.
the accuracy of that if they're putting it out there and your credit decisions are based on it. It seems like that seems back to front to me.
But they do have to respond within a period of time, or it has to be removed. My understanding, if they don't respond within, you've made an inquiry, this is erroneous, and if they don't respond within 30, 60 days.
What you're talking about there is that, like, after you mail something, the credit reporting agency gets it, and they send it off to their subscriber. That subscriber has 30 calendar days. In most instances, sometimes it can be slightly longer, but usually 30 calendar days to respond back to the credit reporting agency. If they don't, then respond within that time frame, then the credit reporting agency is supposed to do what the consumer told them to. But the standard that they have to reach to respond to that can be very, very low, especially if you're asking something very basic, like the general thing that you see online, that form letter, not mine. That is one of the most simple responses that a credit reporting agency can receive from a subscriber. They have 2 pieces of data, literally just a name and social is all they have to verify in that particular investigation. If those name and social match, then that's your account, and that's those are very,
so
very
not mine's
simple.
not a good defense.
No, not at all. Unless if it's fraud or mixed or one of those situations where it's really not yours, then great defense. But other than that, no, it's not a good idea to lie to a credit reporting agency. So
You basically go, well, I wasn't late, and they turn back around within 30 days and said, yes, you were. And that's all they have to do?
Truly, that is pretty much what they have to do. But it has to be accurate. If they're reporting that on one credit reporting agency that you were late 1 month and another one that you weren't late that month, late 2 months later, and that happens more often than most people would believe, that can be a problem, because when you're looking at it, like if Chris was looking at it on a mortgage report, it would look like the person was late twice.
Right.
And possibly when they really were late 12 months ago, it might look like they were late 9 or 10 months ago, and that could be a problem for a mortgage.
Oh, I would absolutely agree. And one of the things I guess individuals get frustrated. I'll give you an example of something that happened to me about 2 years ago. All of a sudden, I get this notification that says your credit has been impacted. So I look at it, and it says I had a mortgage late. I was like, I don't pay a single mortgage late. I mean, I've got there's no way.
You're on automatic
Absolutely.
withdrawals.
So I called up, found out who it was. I immediately called the bank. The bank goes, no, we didn't report you as being late. And I said, yeah, you did. I have it right here. So they looked at their system and said, you know what? Absolutely, we got it here. We're sending you out an immediate letter. We're going to go and get all this corrected. They went and got everything corrected. I have a letter, So 2 out of the 3 bureaus to this day removed it. One of them agencies, removed it. One of them still today I'm still fighting against. Even though it's 2 years ago, I'm still fighting against it and saying, guys, the inaccuracy, you still have a 30-day late on me. That is erroneous. Here's my letter. Here's my proof. By the way, TransUnion. Thank you very much.
So,
but that's
kind of
the
recourse is there?
frustration that individuals go through.
Absolutely. And that is, I'll tell you, for me, obviously, I've maintained some of my contacts where I've met with congressmen and CFPB and FTC and all these organizations, and you wouldn't believe how many people, even within government, have those same problems you're talking about, same problems that my clients have, the consumers have, and without truly hiring an attorney and suing them, a lot of times the recourse can be very low. I mean, you almost have to either threaten them with discoverable evidence, something that can be really brought to bear where they believe you're going to sue them, or actually sue them outright.
Right.
And I mean, when you're talking about a situation like what you're talking about,
Right.
there is, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, there is the possibility of punitive damages and things like that if you can show willful noncompliance.
Right.
And that's for us. That's what when we're showing real errors. That's what we're looking for.
You showed them the evidence.
That's
You
right.
got
Right.
a letter. And,
Exactly.
And that is willful noncompliance, I would think.
I would
Absolutely.
absolutely agree. You know, one of the things that they're doing, I'm getting the finger held up to me, by the way, but not the middle finger, just the number one, by the way.
One of the fingers, not
which
the
is,
finger.
Which is basically saying is, Chris, you got to start wrapping up the show. So I want to start doing a couple things. Number one, how can we reach CRE?
Let's see, www.crecreditservices.com. The other would be 888-799-SCORE.
799 score. So CRE Credit Services. I want to give a big shout out to all of our power women of the Real Estate Rat Pack and of Remax. We have Linda, Jennifer, and Lois. Great individuals of Remax. I want to give a big thank you, by the way, for all the money you helped us raise for these Sunshine
And we have
Kids.
a pretty major holiday tomorrow, I think.
And we have a very major holiday tomorrow. I want to wish
happy
everybody a very, very, very happy
Easter.
Easter. And also want to give a prayer really fast. We talked about we leave everything with a quote. This is no different. Again, this is for Jody. At every moment of our existence, you are present to us, God, in gentle compassion. Help us be present to one another so that our presence may be a strength that heals the wounds of time and gives hope that is for all persons through Jesus, our compassionate brother. Until next time, we are out.
You've been listening to the Real Estate Rat Pack. The Real Estate Rat Pack is ready to answer your toughest questions. So tune in to the really big show every Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on 100.7 The Word.